document. All right. So here's SSBot version 0.4. This is one down from what we were doing previously. The setup page looks about the same, except I think, yeah, the things that were moved onto the settings page are actually now at the bottom of setup. So we're going to do select from columns as we were trying to do before with a 30-minute timer. And then we go ahead and add in. So one thing that's changed now, since this is a different script, we're going to actually have to add in the new callback URL for this script, which is, I think, okay. That's B32. Oh, okay. Yeah, the project key. So we actually have to get this. We're going to have to get the project key directly. So just follow my lead on this one. What we're going to do is go to the Tools menu, open the script editor. Go to the File menu in the script editor, Project Properties, and here you see the script ID or the project key, which is now deprecated, but you should be able to use either one. I'm actually going to go ahead and use script ID because that Google has informed me earlier that script ID is used every place now where you have project key before. So now we'll close the script editor, go back here, put this in project key. Right, and so now you'll see that the field has been updated with that script ID into the callback value. So we're going to need to possibly regenerate the consumer key and secrets, but let's go ahead and edit the, not here. From here, we'll edit the app so that we can, not from keys, details here. All right, and let's see. I forget if it's actually possible. Oh, yeah, settings tab. That's a key. Okay, so now a callback URL is going to become the new callback URL from here. So this is new project key, and might be difficult to get this. If you double click, you get a formula instead of the actual field. So back to Vivaldi. I'm sorry for everybody who's lost right now. We're going to probably get you back on track in Unit 2, but I just had a problem getting the materials that I provided everybody to work correctly. So if you're following along, great. If not, this unit's not going to go on much longer. I just wanted to be able to show you a script tweeting. Next thing is going to be, I think, a lot easier from the setup side, but it's going to require a lot more content from you. So just keep that in mind. And go ahead and save this. Okay, so now we have that set up. We'll go back and copy our consumer keys into the new script, which is this one. So that field gets that key, and this field, this key goes into this field. Okay, so far so good, right? And we'll just make sure that there are no spaces or anything around the side. Looks good. All right, so now we're going to try and do a couple things. We're going to go back to this new select from columns, and I'm going to, once again, copy the tweetified UDHR, and I'm going to, oh, not this one. Okay. I'll take this and select all of this material, delete that, and paste our corpus into the select from columns fields. Okay, now from here, we should be able to send a test tweet, but that's going to take us to this first, the authorization again. Yeah, I want to run this as me, not as my other thing. Allow this script. Now I get the Twitter link again. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to take it to the browser where my Twitter bot is logged in. Paste that as URL. Hit the authorize app. Okay, now we get back to here, log in as myself. Okay, success. Now don't close the window this time, just the page. So that gets us authorized. And the last thing we should be able to do is close this window, run send a test tweet again, and actually see a test tweet. So we go back to where our bot is hosted in this account. Hey, look at that. That is a first successful tweet coming from the UDHR bot. I'm going to go ahead and edit this because that is not the right name. One thing I haven't gone over yet about making Twitter bots and accounts is it definitely looks a lot more seamlessly if your bots have a description, if they have a profile picture other than the random egg. And also, I think it's probably good if anybody has questions or wants to raise concerns to you, have your own Twitter handle specified in your bot's bio so that you can be found if anybody has a problem with your script. There we go. That's me on Twitter. We'll save those changes. All right, we're about done with this part now. If you missed the part about editing the scripts, definitely just like hold tight. We're going to start a new unit in a moment, and you can go back and of course watch this live cast again later on. I'll see if I can put in some markers about where interesting things happen, so that you know where to go to look at different tutorials about getting started with these. Okay, so we have this. We did a test tweet. So the last thing we're going to do now is set up the automated testing, or not testing, the automated tweeting. So with the bot, let's see what the frequency is set at. 30 minutes, that's exactly what I wanted. So we can go ahead and start posting tweets. Now, I forget exactly how SSBot works. It may actually do one immediately and then go 30 minutes for the next one. Or it may just wait 30 minutes or wait until like the next 30-minute boundary to get the next one up. We can check that right now. It looks like it doesn't do that, but we can come back and check this later to see if it's actually posted another one. Okay, so that is the end of Unit 1 workshop. Let's go back to Keynote for a moment. So we have some time for open Q&A. Once again, I do want to thank everyone who is helping out the other attendees in the live stream chat channel. It looks like we do have some very good, helpful people looking into right now. Okay, so if anybody has questions right now, you can fire them now, and I'll attempt to answer them before we move on to Unit 2. If you're worried about making apps, don't worry about that for Unit 2 because we won't need to make any for that particular part. The CheapBot's Done Quick app actually does that for us, which is great, and that's pretty much it. Okay, looks like somebody's actually found the directions in the sheet, which is great. Just making the appropriate callback URL in version 0.4 means you have to dip into the script editor and get the script ID out of the project properties. So once you do that, then the URL is correct and not just for some reason /ADF/user callback, which is not correct. But yeah, when you paste, you can just edit the settings of your Twitter app and paste in that other URL, and then that should get you going for the authentication steps. Once you do that, then tweeting should be ready to go. All right. So with that, we're going to move on to Unit 2, and what we're going to start doing here is a bot from generative programs. So what we're going to be using is a grammar that creates random text, and it's called tracery. So the tracery is essentially a big JavaScript object notation blob of text, and it starts with a key called origin, and then origin may have like one of a number of strings in it, which are chosen randomly. Those strings may have placeholders, which are essentially like two hash marks that surround the name of another key in the object that you can look at. This will all make more sense when we start getting into it. If you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, I'm going to be working a little bit from the tracery tutorial that I set up, and I'm sorry, that I added into the welcome documentation. This is a pretty good way of getting started with the tracery grammar, but I'm not going to be exactly following it with like a hello world and whatever. But we are going to be using essentially a tool that creates Twitter bots, and all it requires is you to have a Twitter account, and then a tracery grammar that tells it what to tweet on a regular basis. So this is now the Unit 2 workshop. So we're going to do a new Twitter account. So that just means that I'm going to close this one private window, and we'll start a new one. And for some reason, Vivaldi really doesn't like when I do that. I may have to change to another browser here. Oh, not that one. Control-Shift-T. No, Control-Shift-P. There we go. That's the private browser thing. Okay. So private browsing turned on. We go to twitter.com, and we start a new bot account. So the theme that I'm going to be doing for my demonstration, Cheap Bots Done Quick Bot, is random orders of hamburger. So essentially, it's going to be some kind of patty on some kind of bun with maybe like one or two toppings. And then that is literally just the tweet that gets tweeted. So we're going to sign up for something that's burger related. I would like to get something like a hamburger today, but I'm sure that's already taken. Or not. All right, I'll take it. So phone or email. Once again, this is